At the STIHL Timbersports Arena in Malvern, Worcestershire for 2024. My name is Alex Kirkley. I'm your host and MC for this white-hot competition. Who will be crowned our new rookie champion of 2024? We have 4 disciplines to show you today with both the axes and the saws, and we are just about ready to rock and roll here in Great Britain. So without further ado, let's get this show underway and introduce the first of our dignitaries, our Global Sports Director, Spike Milton. And as we welcome Spike onto the stage, it's well worth pointing out that Spike has been instrumental in getting Great British Timber Sports to the point that it is at today. He has been mentoring and training thousands and thousands of our athletes, both in Great Britain and across the world. So we welcome Spike to our stage today. Next up, we have another pair of very important people, our judges. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome on both Bart Jansen and Andy Hall. So extremely important roles that both Bart and Andy have. They'll be crossing the T's and dotting the I's on every single piece of wood that is cut on this stage today. And one gentleman who won't see any sunshine this afternoon is Jules Hansen. He's our video judge. And again, he's got a vitally important job in checking the slow-mo replays, making sure that everything is up to scratch here on our STIHL Timbersport stage. All right, folks, we are ready to introduce you to some of our top British rookie talents onto this stage. Let's give it up for, in the following order, Leon Pesh. Memphis Clements. Dominic Bell. Max Wright. Jake Buffton. Theo Richmond. Rowan Luxton. Zach Powell. Joe Grease. Luke Bray. And our reigning rookie champion, Jack Morris. All right, so these are our athletes. They're primed and ready. We drafted in an international expert to oversee and talk us through timber sports here, this rookie championships. I'm delighted to welcome to Malvern, Great Britain, the one and only Troy Mannering. Hi, Troy.
Hey, Alex, thank you very much. Hey, everybody out there, thanks for joining us on our live stream today. And we hope you enjoy the coming action for our British Rookie Championship. We do have a lot of action for you, and we are going to now introduce you to our competition format. Check this out for all you need to know about how this day is going to go.
The STIHL Timbersports Rookie Competition. All athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single buck. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition.
Okay, Troy, great to be here. Lovely afternoon in Great Britain. Lovely to have you along as well, my friend. We are going to get the chainsaws out.
Yes, we are. Stock saw time coming. Here's the tool and discipline. Let's go.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional STIHL technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark. 1 downward and 1 upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
Okay, here's our start list for the stock saw. We have Rowan Luxton, who'll be going on his own in Heat 1, but people to watch out for, particularly that last heat, Heat 6, Joe Grice and Jack the Power Morris. Jack holding all our rookie records. He's there to be got at.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the one that's got the target on his back for this weekend as the reigning rookie champion. This will also be his last year as a rookie. Next year, he has to step up to the next level. All right, let's get things underway. Our first athlete on stage. A bit of a tough start for Rowan here because he is alone on stage, so there's no one pushing him along, but he'll do his best.
Okay, warm up your saw. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Nice start by Rowan. Bit of a fat cookie there, so he's got to be careful on the transition to the upcut. But the transition, he's got a bit of a cutout. He's got to be careful there. Good thinking. Resets the saw on the upcut. It's going to kill his time, but he should be safe. And a 13.72 personal best for Rowan. He'll get a quick check on that cookie to make sure he does have a complete disc, and it looks like he's okay. It now just comes down to whether he's got all the lines still attached to the block there, and it does look like he has them, so he should be safe with a good cut. And we'll find out from our head judge, Andy Hall.
Okay, congratulations. The cut is good.
So Rowan did a real good job here. Bit of a swing over on that first cut, but he was quick to get the saw in motion and moving. Right here, you see, he had a bit of a cutout. He realized it, repositioned the saw. That, of course, takes away some of the time, and he did have a good further upcut there, moving towards the away from the line, so that was at least good and a safe cut for him.
All right, the next set of athletes onto our stage, we've got from Knighton in Wales. He works in a slaughterhouse.
Oy.
It's Memphis Clements. And joining us here from Germany today, we welcome Leon Pesch.
Leon holds the national record for German rookies at 9.82 seconds. That is blisteringly fast when you look at the stock saw world record being 9.09.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start by Leon Pesch. Memphis Clements right in there. Leon's got a good thin cookie. Beautiful transition for Leon, but he's very close to the line there. Almost has an incomplete cookie. He's going to go back and cut another one just to be on the safe side. Memphis Clements with a 13.01. That'll be a personal best. Leon might have gotten away with that second cookie, but he didn't feel safe about it and went back and cut a third to be sure that he does not have a DQ, and hopefully that will be the case if the line is complete. Yeah, he did have a cutout at the bottom of that one cookie, so good that he went back and cut again.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So not the fastest time for Leon Pesh with 17.30, but better to have a time than to be DQ'd. That first cut from Leon on the far side of the screen there looked very good. Angling away from the front of the block a bit though, and we see here in the transition, he comes up and he does get very close with the bar, and there is the cutout, but it's just barely, so he might have actually gotten away with that. And I think what happened there, Alex, is when that disc hit the floor, piece broke off, and he saw it and he was like, nope, I'm gonna go back and cut again to be safe. He did cut very close to the line. Meanwhile, Memphis Clement with a really nice cut and 12.82 seconds after adjustment. So he tops the leaderboard for the moment.
Okay, thank you, Troy. Next up in Heat 3 of the stock saw, we have 19-year-old Dominic Bell going onto the stand alongside 23-year-old Zach Powell.
Zach's been busy with the road shows the last couple of days and helping out around the site here and just trying to keep involved as much as possible, which is great. We're going to see him hopefully having a good time here today. His personal best, 12.25. Dominic's personal best, a 14.34.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very nice lift by Dominic Bell. He got up there quick. That looks like a fairly fat first cook. He's got to be careful on the transition cut here. Meanwhile, Zach Powell looking very good on the upcut. Oh, that's going to be a close one between the two of them. 11.87 and 11.94. Personal best for both gentlemen. Fantastic cuts. Well done. Really blisteringly fast, considering that their previous times are 14 and 12 respectively. So nice to see those personal bests improving every time. Uh-oh, we do have a cut line by the looks of it. They're going to check very closely. There is the yellow flag, and that means Dominic Bell may have a DQ here, as Bart Janssen is checking very closely that top line. So the upcut angling in towards the block. We'll see what the result is here.
So we have a disqualification on stat 1 for a cut line. However, this cut is good.
All right, Zach Powell's 11.71 will stand. Unfortunately for Dominic Bell, it's a DQ and 0 points in this one.
Yeah, bitterly disappointing for Dom. But both he and Zach are boriculture machine mechanic, that's Dom, and then Zach's an agricultural engineer, so they are very proficient with the chainsaws.
All right, fantastic good looking cut there from Zach Powell, who takes the fastest time of the day. Dominic Bell in this position right here, he was angling towards the block or the stand, and that's why he came towards that line and cut over the line, and the result is a DQ, unfortunately.
All right, we move on with Jake Buffton and Max Wright taking on the stock saw in Heats 4.
Jake Buffton looking fit these days, a svelte young man now. He has been taking care of his health, obviously, because he is in great shape coming into this event. You can see their personal best there of 12.53 and 13.13. Pretty closely matched up.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Max Wright with a very compact start position. Jake Buffton a little bit more open on his stance. That's looking like a good cut for Jake Buffton right away. Max Wright got a big fat second cookie. He might come close to the line. Jake Buffton a little bit slower on the upcut, pulling a bit too hard. 2 cookies on the deck for both of them. Max Wright with a personal best 10.89. Do we have complete cookies and good lines? It looks like it. We'll go to the decision zone with Andy Hall.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, taking a look back here shortly at the highlight. This is a great lift by Max. Got in there real quick. Jake was a little bit more tentative on the start, hovered a bit briefly, but then got into the wood. His upcut, I think he was maybe pulling a little bit too hard. Nice transition here by Max, though, who is sitting atop the leaderboard currently in Stocksaw. It was the upcut here by Jake that was just maybe a bit too much pulling, slowing the chain down some. So right now, Jake is sitting in 4th place in our Stocksaw heat.
Okay, next up we have 21-year-old Sri surgeon from Essex, Theo Richmond. And he's joined by 25-year-old Luke Bray. Luke's one of the older rookies here. Great experience in the rookie circuit. He's a farmer locally in Martley, Worcestershire.
This will also be his last official year as a rookie.
Okay,
He'll have
gentlemen.
to step up to the next level, being 25. Here we
Warm up
go.
your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, bit of a mislift by Theo Richmond. Luke Bray right on it, though. Luke Bray had a problem with that first cut. He's going to have to go back and cut again. And he saw that, and he's into it. And Theo Richmond also having trouble there with an incomplete cookie. He's cutting a 3rd cookie to make sure he's safe. 18.33 and a 15.32. Not fantastic times, but will they be logged in as fair? Quick investigation on stand 1. Could be we have a cut line. They're going to double check everything here on Theo Richmond's block.
So we have a disqualification on stand 1 for a cut line. However, this cut is good.
That's disappointing for Theo Richmond. Luke Bray will take that 15.07. That puts him in 6th place currently in the Stocksaw results.
Yes, I'm sure we see on the down cut, nice and clean from both athletes, but what makes that up cut much more difficult for them?
Well, if you take a big piece of material off the front side in your first cut and you transition a little bit too much, you can see here with Luke, he had to transition nicely into that second cut, but he didn't have a lot of material left there, and he was very careful about how he cut that 3rd cookie to make sure he had a thin one that was still safe. Theo Richmond, on the other hand, he had a very thick first cookie, if I recall, and then he had to come back and cut a 3rd cookie, and he just didn't have anywhere to cut on that 3rd cookie, and he was doing an upcut, and he went over the line, and that's why he had a cut line, and therefore the DQ.
And as you always say, Troy, it's thin to win, and 2 gentlemen now who will be looking to cut thinly in the Stocksaw Heat 6, the final heats of this first discipline. Joe Grice, who has a PB of 11.65, and Jack the Hammer, Jack the Power, Morris.
We keep changing his nickname from event to event.
The Rookie Monster.
Okay,
The Rookie
gentlemen.
Monster. Not for
Warm
long,
up your
though.
saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Joe Grice, left side of the stage. Jack Morris, right side of the stage. Joe with a really quick entry into that cut. He's got himself a good transition as well on the upcut. Jack Morris is right there on a quick upcut as well. Jack Morris and Joe Grice very close together. Joe Grice with an 11.48 PB. Jack Morris with a 12.07.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, Joe Grice getting himself a personal best there of 11.32. A hair faster than his previous personal best. Jack Morris has a PB of 10.00. Little bit of a chunky transition there by Joe Grice. It almost looked like he hit that other cookie on its way down on that transition, but the beautiful upcut was there, and Jack Morris in the background, also a very nice transition and upcut for him.
All right, so let's take a look at how the land lies after our first discipline, the stock saw. Excellent performance from Max right there with a time of 10.68, gives him the full 11 points available and a new personal best. And Troy, amazing to see 5 personal bests there for our athletes, which is what it's all about. They're ever improving, their continuous development, brilliant work.
Yeah, I love to see those personal bests drop. We always say that's the best way to see how the development is going for these athletes. When a personal best goes away, you know they've been working in the background, they've had good days, and they're continuing to improve their skill set as they move towards taking that transition to the next level and becoming pros.
Now, if you're watching Timber Sports for the first time with us on our live stream and you fancy a go yourself, you can get to the STIHL GB website and find your local training centre. And as you've seen so far today, there's loads of things you can get involved with. STIHL Timber Sports is the original extreme sports. And here's a little highlight now of the history of our proud sport.
Third woodsman who can cut down a tree more easily than most people can chop one up. When it really comes to tackling large lumps, you can't beat the men of the forestry companies.
An axeman's gathering. As Tom is losing the ones that gets it.
STIHL Timber Sports, entertaining large crowds all over the world. It's time to put the chainsaws away momentarily, Troy, and unsheath the axes.
Yes, this will be our first axe discipline for our rookies today. It is the standing block chop. For more information about the tool and discipline, check this clip out.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 27 centimeters has to be cut through from both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
So, here we go with the standing block chop. 6 heats. Top athletes, top rookies, looking out for Heat 4 here today. Jake Bufton and Theo Richmond, both with points to prove after the stock saw. So keep your eyes on Heat 4, but some great talent across the board.
Let's not also forget Jack Morris. He is a fantastic cutter when an axe in hand. You can see Max Wright will be on stage alone. So we're always going to have one athlete up there on his own because we have an uneven number. We have 11 guys here instead of 12, which was normally planned. So Max Wright will have the onerous duty of being alone on stage for the first heat in standing block chop.
Max is a 21-year-old forester from Hampshire, And he got off to a flyer in our first discipline, the stock saw, taking the maximum 11 points available. So he's the top of the leaderboard.
Max will be on stand 1, very far left of the stage. So we'll be keeping a close eye on him and the wood today especially.
Okay. Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Max getting right into it. We want to see some big chips fly off of these blocks here. Bit of a high hit there for Max. He wants to keep the accuracy as good as possible so that we can get those chips flying out with some nice clean cuts, not cutting new material. And you can see the wood's quite hard today. Really difficult to get that axe in and get those chips out.
And we know, Troy, athleticism plays a big part in this event, but I'm pretty sure Max is going to have loads in the tank. He goes trail and road running, he goes climbing, he enjoys hiking in his spare time, a real all-rounder.
Yeah, you need to be fit these days for the sport. Yeah, timber sports is no longer me, Mongo, come cut, you know. It's all about these guys having fitness and being able to keep going. Now Max has moved over to the other side of his block just around the 40-second mark, so that bodes well. He's got 1 minute and 30 seconds to cut this block, but he looks pretty good as he's on that second side. A little bit of salad on the first side there, but he's putting the power to it on the second side with 30 seconds still to go to get through that block. And hopefully we can see him get through this one here, because these blocks have been really difficult for the guys today. You can see on this second side, it's still big chips holding on for dear life in there, and none of them really want to get going, but it seems like this one's getting wiggly and waggly there, and there it goes! 127.6, and he's pleased about that, knowing how things have been going as he does a little hop there.
Max power from Max Wright.
Max power for Max Wright, and he's got himself a personal best at 124.9. Well done, Max.
Okay, congratulations. The cut is good.
How happy is he? Look at the smile on that face. Great job, Max.
Superb effort to get us started in this discipline. And Troy, you mentioned salad in the wood.
I did, yes. And we'll maybe have a look at this shortly here. You can see as Max has got a lot of power there, but his accuracy isn't really on point. So this is one thing that these guys want to work on over time, is the angle at which they're hitting. Now that was a fairly flat hit as he moves around to the other side. And if we get another picture of the front side of that block, you'll see it's quite steppy, and there's a lot of material still left in there, and I call that salad because it looks like a bowl of salad at the front. Now, if you get somebody that's really accurate with their hits, it'll look like 2 smooth sides, and there won't be anything in there except those lines that look like it was cut with a motor saw.
Okay, we move on through now. Dominic Bell, the 19-year-old machine mechanic from Surrey, alongside Memphis Clements, so another 19-year-old from Knighton in Wales.
Looks like Memphis is going for a chisel axe head. Maybe both of these guys have that, not sure. Here we go.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Nice start by both Memphis and Dominic. And again, you can see those axes going in and getting stuck there. That's hardwood. That's really difficult. But there you go. That's some beautiful hitting there from Memphis, as he's got some nice accuracy on those first few drivers, but then he got a couple of straight hits in there, and the angle wasn't as optimal as it could be. That's another thing that's going to be tiring. If you're going straight in, you're not getting the cuts. You're cutting new material each time, so your accuracy needs to be on point with these hits. He started off real nice and then just lost a little bit of the gun there. Dominic Bell still working on his first side as Memphis moves over to the second side in under 40 seconds. That's a good sign. Dominic wants a little bit more material out of that first side, and again we see some salad. And there's an example of those angles looking pretty nice, sharp on the first side. He's going to go more open on the second side. Memphis will.
They have a time limit, Troy.
They do. The time limit is set there at 1 minute and 30 seconds, but it's looking pretty good for these guys. And Memphis Clements drops it in 104.99. That's a personal best for him. Great job. Dominic still getting a bit of a sticky axe there as he's trying to get through that second side. He's got 15 seconds to finish it off. He should be able to do it. He's got some power, but he's also got a couple of sticky axes there as he's got to wedge that thing out. And he may be in trouble here as he's getting pretty close to that 29:30 mark. There it is. And that is going to be a DQ for a time limit exceeded. And you can see there's still too much material left for Dominic to get through, unfortunately.
So we have a disqualification for exceeding the time limit. However, this cut is good.
All right, so we've had our first DQ in the standing block chop. Memphis Clements with a nice time of 104.74 puts him atop the leaderboard for standing block, and you can see these two guys getting into it right away pretty nicely. Now Memphis here, you can see his drivers were pretty accurate right off the get-go. Couple of hits were a little bit off point on that first side. Then he went around to the second side. He just really went for it. Dominic, meanwhile, was trying a little bit too long on the second side. You can see that was a pretty shallow cut on the first side for Memphis, and he went a little bit more open on the cut on the second side. And again, the wood really hard today. Here is Memphis's last couple of drivers. Beautiful end for him and a nice personal best of 104.74. So again, these are going to all improve as time goes by, and we'll see these guys learning more about where their accuracy cuts coming in and how they can really keep their lines always on the same spot. So they're not cutting new wood, first of all. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the accuracy clean, and accuracy is fast as well.
Sure, you can sharpen your axe as an athlete as much as you like and oil your chainsaw to your heart's content, but when it comes to the wood, that's different gravy. You know, it's the wood draw that happens before the competition, and you just don't know what you're going to get some days.
Well, we do have premium competition wood here, but it's a natural product, so you never know what's going to happen on the inside. They can all look the same on the outside, but the inside could be a little bit different, and we'll tell you a little bit more about our premium competition wood right now.
STIHL Timbersports is an international extreme sports competition series featuring 6 disciplines: 3 chopping and 3 sawing. We have a premier competition, we need premier wood. The biggest challenges that I face as part of my role is to ensure that our competitions are supplied with the highest quality wood.
Each individual tree is examined for its conformation before processing. We need to make it fair for all athletes. So we are selecting different sections of the trees to use for each of our specific disciplines.
Once the trees are felled, extracted and transported to our facilities, we measure, mark and then cut the wood into sized blocks. We then peel the blocks ready for competition. After careful selection, the blocks then leave our yard and are distributed internationally to our STIHL Timbersports competitions.
Okay, so heat 3 in the standing block shot, we have Leon Pesh and Zach Powell.
Pretty evenly matched up on the tail of the tape, these two guys. Leon Pesh with a 50.41 best time, and Zach Powell with a 55.83. Again, this is not about elimination head-to-head competition. This is about gaining the fastest time possible to gain points to move on. Look at how beautiful those axes are, polished, sharp as can be.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Zach Powell into it with some pace as well. Leon Pesh on the other side with some power. You can see both of them nice angles, not getting stuck too much. Zach a little bit sticky right there. I put my foot in my mouth on that one. Both of them at it quick, though. The pace is frantic. Zach Powell over to the other side in under 20 seconds. That bodes well. Oh, a bit of a slip there for Zach, though. He's got some stuff hanging. He's going to want to get that out of the way. Leon Pesh still on the first side of his block. Zach Powell getting into the second side nicely here, and it's chipping out very well. He's made a good choice of axe by the looks of it. Leon Pesh now onto the second side of his block, and Zach Powell's done it. Oh, my goodness. What a time is that? Holy smokes, folks. That is a 38.66 personal best for Zach Powell with a bullet. Leon Pesh still working it there as he's just getting towards the minute mark. He's going to get through there and definitely under the time, though. He's got some big chips that are going to fly out. And he's almost there. A couple of more drivers. He's getting support from the backside here. Good job by Leon Pesh. Not a personal best there, but he is through in 105.54. But Zach Powell, holy smokes, somebody better check that axe for a motor.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Well done, boys, but I got to say, I was not expecting a 38.66 from Zach Powell. And that still hasn't been updated from our competition control center and confirmed. But man, oh man, I can't imagine it's going to be taken away from him, because that was a fantastic cut. As we look back at the replays here, on that first side, he was just going for it. The pace he had as well was pretty incredible. And there you see Leon, oh, he had a bit of a wacky angle there, and he went down on the down cut into the lower half of the block and got stuck. Look at this. These last couple of drivers from Zach were just incredible, and off the top it goes. And it actually has been adjusted slightly, so his 38.66 becomes a 38.61. What a difference from his original personal best of 50 seconds. He's taken off quite a chunk there. Good job.
Yeah, great work. Next up, in Heat 4, the standing block chop, our second discipline. It's Jake Buffton and Theo Richmond.
Jake Buffton looking to have a good one here.
Jake is more than capable of a great time. He's got 33.56 PB. Theo not far behind with 42.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jake also looking like he's lost quite a bit of weight, so hopefully that doesn't affect the amount of power that he could put into that block, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. And both of these guys are at pace on the blocks right away. Unbelievable speed by Theo Richmond, though, and Jake Buffton, both moving over to the other side at the same time. This could be a fantastic heat between these two guys. Look at them go. Holy smokes, folks. The chips are flying. Good choice of axes for both of them. Theo Richmond looking hard in second on that second side. Jake Buffton doing the same thing on his. As we're just getting to the 30-second mark, and Theo should be out through that any second now, and he's done it! 33.88 personal best for Theo Richmond. A comeback from that stock saw, and Jake Buffton trying to get through there in under 50 seconds, and he's going to do it in 45.01. Well done on stage right now. Two really great times. Theo Richmond taking over the top spot in the standing block, and Jake Buffton slipping into third.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Fantastic job. Those guys were leaving chips of wood all over the stage there. We're going to take a look back at the highlights here. What was impressive for me is the pace that these guys were hitting at. Theo, so tall, so strong, and look at that stuff flying off the block there, and he was just hitting incredibly quick. Jake on the other side, just going for it.
Theo seemed to be in and out with, alarming regularity. That axe was not sticking in there at all. He had some great strokes.
Alarming is a good word, because it would be alarming for them not to get through there in under a minute's time at the pace that they were hitting those blocks. Last few drivers here for Theo. Look at this. Bang on. Nice time, 35.25 after adjustment. Jake Buffton doing great. His personal best is a 3.356, so he wasn't at his personal best, but still a great time in under a minute with a 44.75. So really nice job by both of those guys. And that was an exciting heat between two very excellent Axemen there, and that kept the fire going for all of us, I think, absolutely. And you could see there was pieces of wood everywhere for these guys on stage.
Yeah, that's kept Theo in contention as well. He's moved himself up to 5th place. And there's very fine margins now between 4th place Memphis Clements, Jake Buffton, he's got 15 points as well. Max the Power Wrights, 17 points, and Zach the Power Powell, he has 19 points. So it's all up for grabs on after the second discipline.
Yeah, now a lot of people look at the stage and see all those chips that these guys are leaving lying around, and our team of woodchucks up there cleaning it up right now. That does all get collected. It is sustainable wood management, and that's what we're going to take a look at right now and how this all works. Oh, excuse me, I've just been informed. No, we're going to go with sustainable wood management. Let's stick with that.
All wood is sustainably grown, harvested, and recycled to minimize the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this poplar wood is grown on certified plantations. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. We quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests.
Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
Okay, Heat 5, we have Rowan Luxton, who has hopefully got his lucky axe in his lucky axe box. It's one of his superstitions. And Luke Bray, of course, local lad, he's a farmer from Martley in Worcestershire.
So Rowan will have stand number 1. Luke will be on stand number 3 there.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both guys getting into it quick. Rowan, good pace on that axe. Not holding back at all. Luke Bray getting some nice chips. Great accuracy by Luke Bray there. You can see nice smooth walls on both those cuts. A little bit of a flat cut there, but he's got his aim on, and they both move over to the other side at the same time. Bit of a sticky axe for Rowan as he is on second side with Luke Bray, pretty much on pace with each other. Both of them going for it on the second side. We should see some good times here as both of them are hitting very well. And these blocks seem to be letting go of these pretty quickly. Luke Bray coming close to dropping his. Rowan's done his in 36-38, and Luke Bray at 37-45. Very, very nice times there for them. They'll slip into positions 2 and 3 in our standing block chop results.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So I'm happy to see these times happening for these guys right now. Only had 1 DQ by virtue of timeout, and the blocks have been very, very hard for these guys, but good axe choice by everybody so far has seen these blocks dropping like flies, which we like to see. Fast times today so far, the fastest is 35-25 by Theo Richmond, and Jake Buffton in 5th place has a 44-75, and there you can see right there, Rowan moving to the other side, got his axe a little bit caught up and had to step back and pull it out. But look at that, final 2 hits there. How close together were those final hits? Fantastic drivers from these guys. 5 personal bests so far today. Love to see that as well.
Okay, we have Joe Grice and our reigning rookie champ, Jack Morris, going off on Heat 6.
How will Jack handle this wood? With a personal best time of 19 and change. He's looking to do some damage here.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I think we should call Jack the Pocket Rocket because he's compact, powerful, and quick, and both of these guys just getting into it with hammer blows. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Absolutely
Joe
shaking.
Grice not taking any prisoners here. Jack's already on the second side of his block. Joe Grice is going to have to shift over pretty soon. He's got Salad on side one, but he doesn't care. It's all power for him. And Jack Morris drops it. Beautiful time for him, 25.58. Joe Grice looking for it. He's going to get it here. That's a couple of bouncy ones that are coming off. That block is moving a little bit. He's throwing all the power he possibly can into that one. He really wants it off here. It's just not going. You can see the disappointment with each driver. 47-11, and I think he wanted it about 6 hits earlier.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
It's amazing to see Jack Morris in full flow. When you talk to him, he's so unassuming and so humble, but then he just explodes up there.
Yeah, I mean, he is a power packet. You have no idea the strength that's contained in that small man up there, but he can absolutely go for it, and he did here. 25.27 after adjustment from our competition control center. And Joe Grice, I mean, he was just taking no prisoners here. He went for it. The problem here on the second side of Joe's block, and hopefully we'll get to see that, is that he was trying to just cut through that thinner section of wood. And here we see this is Jack's final driver there, and Joe still trying to get through his second side. And if we get a couple of those here, you see it just flat, straight in each time. And he tried about 6 or 7 times to get it off and finally dropped it and ended up with a pretty decent time, but right now, Joe Grice sitting in 7th place. Jack Morris takes over the top spot in the standing block chop.
Yeah, 5 PBs as well there, Troy, and it's Jack Morris who'll take the full 11 points. Theo Richmond, amazing performance from him. 10 points, Rowan Luxton. Let's see how that changes things at the top. We still have Jack Morris out in front with 19 points, and Zach Powell hot on his tail with 16. And Joe Grice, another great performance on stage we've just seen there. He has 15 points.
All right, well, that was our first 2 disciplines done and dusted. And as you just saw, our graphic showed you how the positions in the overall standings played out. Now we're moving on to another sawing discipline. This time it's the single buck, otherwise known as the misery whip. Check it out, the tool and discipline coming your way.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand-sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around 1,500 euros. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
So the single buck, the misery whip as you call it, Troy, it could be exciting, it could be completely miserable for some of our athletes. Let's hope not anyway. And Theo Richmond will go off on his own on the stand in Heat 1. And we've got the rest of our rookies to follow. So here he is, Theo Richmond, 21 years young, from Essex. He's a tree surgeon by trade. He's a keen kayaker, so lots of back and forth movements needed. That rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. Good flow is required here with the single buck. It's also an advantage for Theo. He's a tall guy, so he can really utilize that length in his body, stepping back from the block and really using the entire length of the saw. We'll see how his style goes. Some guys have different styles. Some are a little bit choppier through their cuts and starting the saw in the middle, and some will start with a long stroke right away. So it just depends on style. Both can be efficient, but both can also shoot you in the foot if you're not really adept at using the saw. So he'll have to get that saw set into place first, and you can see that 2-meter long cross-cut saw. If it does stop mid-cut, it's a bear to restart.
Yeah, you've talked before in commentary, Troy, about getting knuckle to tip, getting the full length of that saw through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you'll see it when they are really, really cutting well, their hands will almost touch the block when they push through, and that tip will disappear behind the wood mid-cut in the middle part of the block there when they're using the entire length of the saw. And there's Booma, our cameraman, on stage, getting real close to dangerous there for those beautiful pictures that you guys are going to get to see out there in our audience.
Okay. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, immediately a little bit sticky, but then he didn't seem to let that bother him too much. I spoke too soon. I might have jinxed him as Theo starts to get that saw moving. The idea here is to keep the rocking of the saw to a minimum and just try and keep that cut straight through, because every time you rock the saw, you risk hooking it up on a piece of wood there, and the time is running for him, but it looks like it might be a pretty decent time as he gets to the bottom in 25:10. That is really not bad. So 24.90 actually with adjustment and the check mark on our tip here, and he'll replace that into the saw sheath very slowly and gingerly, and Bart Janssen will remove it from the stage for him. Good cut by Theo Richmond.
Okay, congratulations. The cut is good.
Now, the cut is good is always what we like to hear up front. What you sometimes see with this particular discipline is the athlete will push through, the saw might bow, or they'll twist it a little bit, and the cookie will break off and leave a tab at the bottom of the cut, and they have to get in there and replace that or cut that tab off. Now, if they don't cut that tab off, that could be grounds for a DQ. Also, a jump start. If they start too fast, that could also be grounds for DQ. So those are the times that you see a DQ here, but lucky for Theo Richmond, neither of those things happen, and he moves on with 24.90 and a personal best.
Okay, let's see if our next pair of athletes can fare any better. In Heat 2, we have Memphis Clements and Max Wright. Max going great guns so far this afternoon.
Yeah, he's doing very well today. I do believe he is, oh no, I thought he was higher up on the list there. Theo Richmond with the DQ and stock saw, but two good positions in standing block and single buck, currently on top with 21 points. But right now, Memphis Clements and Max Wright, we'll see if they can gain some good points and get themselves up in the list as well. Memphis Clements cutting from the other side, so he'll be able to stick his tongue out at Max Wright while they're cutting.
What brings about the switch of sides, Troy? Just
personal preference.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
He might also be left-handed, who knows? But it seems to be working for him as he gets into those frantic first cuts to get that saw going. Memphis Clements looking good. Max Wright getting a bit sticky, though, as he is really working hard to get that saw moving. Both of them have angle on their saws. Max getting stuck again. Memphis keeping that saw moving. You can see that Memphis isn't really using the entire saw, but he's so quick with his cuts that it seems to be efficient enough. Max, a little bit slower on his cuts, but using more of the saw. Max with a personal best 29.34, and Memphis with a 30.01. Both of them knocking personal bests out of the window here too. And I believe that the saws these guys are using are provided by BJ Sports.
Okay, congratulations.
Because they don't have their own.
Both cuts are good.
These are very expensive saws, so not surprised that a rookie would be borrowing a saw. But you know if they're borrowing from the guys here, they're well maintained and very good saws. You can see here in the replay, Max getting a little bit sticky. Here's Memphis, and you can see not using the entire length of the saw, not going knuckles to tip like we talked about earlier. Meanwhile, Max trying to go knuckles to tip, but the angle change just got a little bit heavy on him. And then when he did get that flow going, these saws are very efficient at cutting as long as you can keep that flow going, and they will be quick. You just have to use them as best you can. The longer and faster you cut, the better it is. You can see it was very close at the end though. Max just edging out Memphis by a hair.
Okay, heat 3 in the single buckets. Dominic Bell, 19 years old. His personal best at 28.31, and Rowan Luxton, who has a PB of 23.79.
Max right at the top of the rankings, by the way. You mentioned he was going great guns. Well, he is there with 23 points at the moment, but there are still quite a few guys to cut.
Dominic looking to recover quickly from a couple of disappointments in the earlier disciplines, so let's see.
Okay, gentlemen, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Rowan on the right-hand side of the stage. Dominic Bell on the left-hand side of the stage, both of them getting into it right away. Rowan really using his hips, thrusting them through, pushing off that back leg. This is looking like a very good cut for Rowan. Oh, a bit sticky at the bottom. Oh, look at the time, 16.83 personal best for Rowan Luxton. Absolutely blasted his previous personal best. Dominic Bell still trying to get through there. Short cuts there, and he is through in 31.75. So a little bit slower than his previous personal best, but he did get stuck in there along the way. So Rowan Luxton with a fantastic 6.83 takes the top spot in single buck.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Rowan looks like he could do it all over again.
Yeah, he doesn't seem out of breath or sweaty at all in that one. He did a great job. But that's the efficiency of these saws. If you really know how to use them, and if you're adept at using the full length of the saw with some pace, you'll get through there in no time flat. It was a good job as well by Dominic Bell. I mean, he was right there at the start, but then he started going for the shorter, choppier cuts. You can see here Rowan just using the entire length of the saw, not quite knuckling in, but the tip is disappearing out of the block there. Great job on the bottom. His hand slipped off, otherwise it would have been a hair faster, I think. But he managed to recuperate quickly and cut through there in 16.58 after adjustment. And it was at the bottom of the cut for Dominic that just got a little bit out of hand for him.
Okay, we're at the halfway point of this discipline, this single buck saw. This is heat 4. We see Leon Pesh and Luke Bray. Okay, so Leon's PB is a time of 20.78, and Luke's is a rapid 17.44. They're both going to have to better their PBs to challenge Rowan Luxton for the full 11 points.
Yeah, Luke is an excellent single sawyer. He's got great form. Leon particular about setting his saw as well. He knows exactly where he wants to have it. Both of these guys have quite similar positioning. And you can see Luke's stance is quite wide as well.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
No risk of an early start there for both of these guys. Leon Pesh and Luke Bray going for it. Luke getting those long strokes in right away. Leon Pesh opting for a bit shorter, using the middle of the saw. Both of them keeping the flow going. Both of them looking quite good here as they move through the middle point of that cut. Luke Bray getting to the bottom of it. He's 17.86. Leon Pesh is looking good as well with those shorter cuts. A little bit sticky at the bottom, and he really got hooked up there. And it's a 24.94. He could have been about 3-4 seconds faster without those hookups. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But a great job by Luke Bray, slipping into second place in the single buck standings with a 17.66.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, congratulations to both of those gentlemen. Luke Bray in particular with a 17.66, putting himself in good standing in the single buck just behind Rowan Luxton's quick time of 16.58. Let's look at this again. So you can see Luke really got started quickly with that saw and then utilized the entire length of the saw. Leon Pesh, however, he was quick with the start, but he kept that pace going, only using the middle part of the saw. You can see here there's still a lot of saw left at the end there as he cuts through. And at the bottom, he just started to rocker it back and forth a little bit too much, and that caused a lot of blockages and stoppages. So the restarts took time from his overall, and that's why he had a 24.66, and he wasn't under 20 seconds. You can see there, really difficult because he also didn't want to twist the saw and break that disc off and leave a tab left over.
We move through now, heat 5. In the single buck, in our British Rookie Championships of 2024, it's Jake Buffton, Joe Grimes.
Both have good times, tail of the tape. Distinctly advantage Joe Grimes. Jake Buffton, no slouch with this saw in hand. So these two guys pushing each other should be quite an interesting heat on stage. Again, just a reminder, folks, this is an elimination. It's only about getting good times to get good points.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jake Buffton, left-hand side of your stage, a bit of a sticky start, but Joe Grice got the same thing, so they're pretty evenly set here as they start again and keep those saws moving. Joe Grice really pushing it through. Jake Buffton using the entire length of that saw. Joe Grice doing the same. Both of them getting to the bottom, a bit sticky one for Joe Grice. And Jake Buffton, 21.37. Jake Buffton, 21.94. So mid-20s for both of these guys. And they're sitting in positions 3 and 4. Joe Grice in 3, Jake Buffton in 4 in single buck with one more heat to go.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, it's official.
Yeah, Joe was ready to crack on backstage and move along, but he had to...
he got caught. He needed to come to the decision zone.
Yeah, take the applause from the Malvern public here.
You could see here at the start for both of these guys, there was a little hook up there for Jake and then for Joe as well. So that kept their times pretty same as each other. And when they finally got going, you could see their style were very similar. A little hook up there by Jake at the end. Slowed him down ever so the tiniest amount, but the two of them both struggling on those bottom cuts. And they were through still in 21.14 now after adjustment and 163, excuse me. Yeah.
Our final heats, heat 6 of the single buck. Two supreme rookies here, Zach Powell and Jack Morris.
Jack holding that national record. Zach Powell not that far off pace there with a 12.42. Let's see if they can both get there. Zach Powell counting the pacing, almost like he's setting up to kick a field goal.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Go.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Great start by Jack Morris. He gets right into it, those long strokes. Zach Powell. Quick pace though for him. Both of them looking very good as they get into those cuts deep now. Past the halfway point by a stretch. Zach Morris with a 15.35. Zach Powell at a 16.32. Both of them moving to the top of the leaderboard. Jack Morris atop that leaderboard with 15.35 seconds. Zach Powell with a 16.32. And that means Jack Morris will take the full 11 points in the single buck. And we'll take a look after the slow-mo replays at the results from single and the overall standings.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Two top talents there, Troy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can see both of them got started really quickly. What's surprising for me is Jack Morris is able to get that saw going at full length and full stroke right off the bat. Sometimes it takes, a couple of short choppy ones just to get the saw moving and get the flow, and then you can get into those long strokes. And that's what Zach Powell did, and it worked for him as he got the flow going, and then they both had full length cuts going on their saw. Right at the bottom here, you can see last push through for both of these gentlemen, and it got pretty thin for Zach Powell at the bottom there. Jack's was a little bit of a thicker cookie, and you can see watch this cookie drop, how thin the bottom of that cookie is. Risky business right there.
Okay, the points for the single buck, all 11 points go to Jack Morris. Zach Powell takes 10. A personal best, which you can be really pleased with, Rowan Luxton, 9 points, and he was going to take all 11 until Jack and Zach came to town. Okay, how does that change things? Well, not much as far as the top three are concerned, but Joe Grimes moves up, and Luke Bray now is in 5th place with 20 points.
Good job by these guys to really work it, and you can see the points are now starting to open up a little bit between the top 5 guys. There's 10 points separating 5th place and 1st place. Still, there's some points to be gained in our last discipline. That's the underhand chop. Let's check out this one in the tool and discipline explanation.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Okay, so the final discipline, the underhand chop. This is where the British Rookie Championship is on the line for 2024. 11 of our athletes in with a shout at the title, and the first of them up to the stand is 19-year-old Dominic Bell from Surrey, machine mechanic. This is it now for Dom.
Okay. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right into it. Dominic gets that stuck axe right away, but gets it out fairly quickly and starts working on that first side, wanting to get some nice chips out of there. Hopefully we can get a shot of the actual block so we can see if the chips are coming out or if they're hanging on for dear life like they have done on these blocks all weekend long. No, that's looking good. Lots of material coming out there. Bit of darkness on the inside though, and that's the beauty about natural products. You never know what you're gonna get till you get to the inside, and Dominic should be switching over to the second side of his block fairly quickly. There he goes, onto that second side, a bit of a sticky axe. He looks a little bit uneasy on those footholds up there as he's shaking and waking a little bit, but he's still doing a good job at cutting away here. And again, you got a minute 30 seconds to get through this block, so he is onto that second side. At about the 35-second mark, I believe, is when he switched over. So he's still got time to get through that block, and he's working hard on that second side to really make sure that he is getting those chips out. Let's not forget, folks, that you're swinging a very sharp instrument, standing on 2 very small platforms to try and cut between your legs. You do not want to make any mistakes here. So 110 is now elapsed here in his time as he is on that second side, doing his best to try and get through. He looks like he might be sort of close, but he's getting tired. You can see the drivers are now getting flat and stuck. and it's taking him a long time to get out of there, and it's going to be a problem for him here on the second side as we near 1:30, and that is unfortunately a time limit exceeded DQ for Dominic Bell. So 2 DQs in the chopping disciplines for Dominic Bell, unfortunately.
So we have a disqualification for exceeding the time limit.
You can see here on that first side, we actually saw some really nice chips flying out. Again, the accuracy playing a role here, cutting new wood, taking more time, but that dark spot in the middle of the block, slowing him down a bit. When he got to the second side, you could see the fatigue taking over. The angles started to change. He started to go in flat with the axe. The axe got stuck, so that caused the time to slow down, and unfortunately a DQ for time exceeded.
All right, 2 21-year-olds now in Heat 2, Max Wright and Theo Richmond.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Theo Richmond getting into it right away with pace. Max Wright going for the heavy drivers into the block. Theo pretty quick with that axe, stepping down one time really quickly, but getting back at it. Oh, a big sticky one for Theo. Max Wright pushing hard to get in. Both of these guys struggling with sticky axes now. And the pace for Theo Richmond looking good. And he moves over to the other side. Under 30 seconds on the transition for him. Good job, Max Wright. Still on side number 1. Theo Richmond going forward on side number 2, facing our live audience here in the arena. Will he be able to get through there in that time limit, or will he be quicker than that? Let's see. Max Wright still hasn't transitioned to that second side yet. Now he's over to the other side, starting on that side too. Theo Richmond looking good as he might get through there fairly soon now. Oh, it's so close. He could probably see the line he wants to cut. He's gone past the minute mark here on the underhand chop, but he will do it in 1:03.73. Max Wright now has 20 seconds to get through that block on that second side. He's got a lot of material down low that he's got to adjust for and make those deeper cuts. And now it starts to chip out a little bit. There's a big piece going to the wayside. 9 seconds left for him to get through here. Will he be able to do it? He's got a lot of material to cut through, and I don't think it's going to happen for Max Wright. And unfortunately, we are going to see another DQ on the underhand chop for time limit exceeded. Oh, and Theo Richmond's is under review. It could be due to a cut foothold. Their judges are checking that right now.
Okay, so we have a disqualification on stat 1 for exceeding the time limit. We also have a disqualification for cutting the foothold.
Unfortunate there. Theo Richmond looking really good, and he cut the foothold, so that counts as a DQ. We also have the DQ for the exceeded time limit.
It's desperately disappointing for both our athletes.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say we can expect big things in coming years from both these athletes. They've shown real promise, both Max and Theo.
Absolutely, and I mean, again, it's the luck of the draw. The wood's been real hard this weekend for everybody, so it's the same conditions across the board for all athletes, so it really comes down to your axe choice and how you hit. And these guys have been doing a great job all day long. Theo really did a good job. I mean, he was over a minute to get through that block, but unfortunately he did cut one of the footholds, and that is a safety aspect, and you can see there by his heel where that cut went into the foothold. And that is the reason why he got DQ'd, and we know that there was a DQ for exceeding the time limit there as well.
Yeah,
so,
we've been saying, Troy, we've had our rookies on stage today. We had our men's GB championships yesterday. Great talent. And we had our third ever women's championship today, this morning. It was on fire.
It was on fire. Let's take a look back and review some of the action from our women's championship that happened earlier today.
Okay, so you've just seen a highlights reel there from our Great British Women's Champion of 2024, Felicia Banker. She joins us now here, and Felicia, we could have made about half an hour's worth of highlights because you were that excellent this morning. Amazing performance.
Thank you.
It's absolutely our pleasure. Listen, I wanted to ask you, what was your favourite discipline today and why? What was the moment you thought, this is all falling into place for me?
I think the underhand for me today was pretty well. It was hard wood, so I changed my technique a little bit according to the wood, and that paid out.
Excellent.
All right, Felicia, you've got quite a following on Instagram as well because you're always working in the woods, you're working with the saws. You also cut for Team Denmark in the team competition on the stock saw. Tell us a little bit how that came to be and what your headspace is with, you know, trying to get that out onto the social media platform so much.
Well, my social media really just came into place because I was really happy about what I was doing. So I was trying to put that happiness across and show everybody else that it was nice to be outside. And then I went and did some really good cuts on stock saw on my first season. Was lucky enough to be on the team, which was amazing. And then I've been struggling to get that stock saw up and running since. But yeah, that's really something that I love to share with people out there to hopefully get more people involved in the sport and the job that I'm doing.
All right, fantastic.
Felicia, how do you rate our British women? Because it's our third year. We're really proud to back such incredible talent. And how's it been backstage? How have you seen them develop in your time here with us?
It's amazing to see so many ladies. I'm just impressed that we could be 10 of us up there. And the spirit in the back is really good and everybody's friendly. So it's been great to be here and great to see the ladies develop.
Yeah, so for everyone here at STIHL GB and Timbersports, we congratulate you on your victory today, and we hope you'll come back next year to defend your title.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Felicia. We're going to crack on now. We're back on the stage with the next heat in our Underhand Chop, Heat 3, where we see Leon Pesh and Memphis Clements take to the stage.
All right, a couple of guys that are matched up pretty evenly by tail at tape. Leon Pesh, a slight advantage here in the underhand chop with a personal best of 46.39. Memphis Clements of 54.74, but we know that Memphis has been working this discipline, and he is a strong young man. We'll see him probably really try to go hard on this block, but as we've seen all day long, the blocks have been a little bit finicky.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
Great start by Leon Pesh. Memphis Clements over there as well, getting a good start into the block. Both of them pretty much in sync with each other on their drivers on the first side. Some nice chips flying out for both of them. Good axe choice, it seems like, for both of these guys. Going for the shallower cuts on that first side. Hopefully no shortcuts, and we'll see them switch over to the other side of their block fairly soon, I believe. Leon Pesh looking good. Memphis Clements looking good as well. Both of them tagging the block at about the same time, pace with each other. Bit of a sticky axe there, but Leon moves over to the other side of his block right there with Memphis Clements on the second side now as they start to chip out that second side and try and get through that block. As we are nearing the 45-second mark, we may see some good times for both of these gentlemen here. Will we see a best time for Memphis Clements? He looks like he might be getting close. Leon looking good over on the far side of the stage as well as he's close to getting through on his block. A little bit of wiggling and waggling here for Memphis. Oh, a little bit of an off cut there for him as well, as we are now past the 1 minute mark, so we won't see any best times for them here. We just need to get them through and under the 1 minute 30 second mark, and they are coming close to it. A couple more drivers. There you go. Memphis Clements in 1:13.52. Leon Pesh trying for those straight hit throughs to get that thin section of wood split. He might be in trouble if he keeps going that way. He really needs to get some angled cuts to get some more wood out of the way. Will he be able to do it one more? Yes, he just does it in 1:27.16. Woo! I was sweating bullets there for Leon Pesh. Holy smokes, folks. I didn't know if he was going to make it through there. All right, so we have 2 times locked and loaded, the only 2 times so far. Memphis Clements with a 1:13.21 is the time to beat. Leon Pesh with a 1:26.80.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Leon's got some incredible vocal support out there. I think he's even louder than you, Troy, and that's saying something. But Memphis, he was punching the air at the end of that. It meant so much to him. With a great time of 1:13, and it was wobbling around. It looked like it was ready to go, but he just needed that extra 20 seconds, Troy, and hopefully that hasn't cost him day.
I love what's written on his axe. I won't repeat it here for our studio audience, but I don't need to as long as you guys can read. Yeah, Memphis, he's one of those guys you just love to cheer for because he's so out there and he's always ready and willing to go for it on these blocks. And he really did a good job on the first side of that block. And then he went for it, and you can see he was stoked about dropping that. And right here, Leon trying to get through the middle of that cut. I would have liked to have seen him do 1 or 2 more angled cuts. He probably would have been a hair faster that way as we go to our next heat here.
And our next heats compromises Jake Bufton and Rowan Luxton. Rowan knocking on the door of a podium finish. This is Jake Bufton, like you say, Troy. He's come back this year looking in great shape.
Yeah, Rowan was 3rd fastest in the standing block chop, so that bodes well for him in the underhand chop if he's feeling the wood today. Here we go.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jake Bufton, stage left. Rowan Luxton, stage right. Rowan with pace on that block on the underhand. Jake also pretty quick with the axe. The frequency of the drivers is a little bit faster by Rowan Luxton's side of the stage. Oh, and Jake stepped down big time as he had to walk away from that block, turn around and come back. Rowan turns around on his block at just under 20 seconds, so that's a good sign for Rowan as he starts to chip out that second side. Great accuracy for Rowan as he is getting through that second side very quickly. Looking good for Rowan Luxton on side number 2. And he is through in 35.18. A personal best for Rowan Luxton. Fantastic job. Jake Bufton just getting past the 40-second mark. He had to stand down, walk around, and come back up to get onto that second side of the block. He really powered through it. And now he's trying to get in there and get that block split. Hopefully he'll be able to do it in under a minute. It looks like he's close to it. It's wiggling and waggling, and he should have it there. One more driver. Is it going to be under a minute? Oh, I think with adjustment he'll be under a minute. Right now it's showing 1:00:17 unofficially, but I think once the Competition Control Center has their hands on it, Jake will be under a minute as well. But Rowan Luxton, what a fantastic run for him at 35.18.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, personal best for Rowan Luxton there, and he is really knocking on the door of a podium spot here today. Look at these two guys go at it right off the hop. This is slow motion, folks. It looks like normal speed. It's incredible how quickly they were hitting, drawing back up, and hitting again. The frequency of the drivers was just absolutely fantastic. Here you can see that steppiness a little bit. You want to try and avoid that. That only comes with experience and practice. And right here, oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. Jake changed the axe. I guess he wasn't feeling the axe, got back up, went to the other side with a different axe. I didn't catch that. I was concentrating on Rowan's hits there, but a great job by Jake Buffton to make a quick change of acts and get back up there. And as I said, once the competition control center did have a look at it, his time was actually under a minute. It was 59.87, so he'll take that any day of the week. Under a minute in this case is a very good situation for him.
Yeah, we've seen each pair of boys that have taken the stand get quicker and quicker. And you've just mentioned there, Rowan Luxton pushing hard for that place on the podium, Troy.
Yeah.
Zach Powell's had a great day as well.
Zach Powell's had an excellent day, and he's coming up next with Jack Morris as they set the stage up for them. The question is, are either of these two guys going to have a fast enough time to take on Rowan Luxton, who right now has 34 points and is atop the overall leaderboard? So it's going to be an interesting dynamic as the last two athletes step up on stage for their underhand chop, because really this is what it all comes down to for these guys.
Yeah, what would your advice be to our final four athletes that take to the stage?
Excuse me, two more heats.
Is it about composure?
I think it's about just going for it. You can't, I mean, at this point, there's no point in trying to save energy or anything like that. You have to put it all out on the table here, and they have to just go for it. Otherwise, there's no point in getting on stage and swinging an axe.
Okay, so we have 4 athletes to come. There'll be Heat 5 on the way, Luke Bray and Joe Grice. And Joe Grice had a great day as well. He's performed really well on our stage today. He has been you know, consistently good. Stock saw, he was second place there. Single book, he posted well. And Luke Bray, again, has had a really solid afternoon, and we're ready to see what transpires with Heat 5 in the underhand chop.
So Luke Bray, Joe Grice will come up on stage here shortly. You could see our stage crew did a great job in getting that stage changed around and ready for our last 2 heats. I was so excited there about it. I thought it was one more heat to go, and I'm lying to the public. That's no good. Can't do that. All right. Our stage manager gives the okay for our athletes to come up on stage. And there we see Joe Grice and Luke Bray. Luke Bray will occupy stage left. Joe Grice, stage right.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right away, both of them with pace. Luke Bray really going for it. Fast drivers into the block. Good chips coming out. Great accuracy, as always, that we see from Luke. Joe Grice also hammering quickly. It might be that these guys are both over to the second side in under 20 here. Let's see if that's what the case is. Yes, in fact, it is. Joe Grice on the second side. Luke Bray just a second later onto the second side, and the pace continues on side number 2 for Joe Grice, who has been really good in the chopping disciplines today. Luke Bray, second side for him. A lot of material in the way. He's got to chop that out, and there it goes, flying onto the stage. Joe Grice is through in 42.4, great time, and Luke Bray in 42.30. Excellent run for both of those guys. Fantastic. Love to see that. Good times for these guys given the wood conditions, and nice axe choices for both gentlemen. So with adjustments, Joe Grice has a 39.87 and Luke Bray a 41.57.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right. Wow. They were hitting hard and fast.
Yeah. Troy, you've seen timber sports all around the world, and it still gives me great satisfaction when you lose your breath, particularly in our rookie event as well today. You're on fire.
Oh, I love it. I mean, these guys are the future of the sport, and they are so good. They're really good. And I mean, you could see here both of these guys just hammering with pace and efficiency and accuracy and power. And that's what we love to see. You know, these guys really training hard in the off season to make sure that they are ready to go for the start of their season. And they're doing a great job here at the British Rookie Championship. So it's going to be anybody's guess who's going to be atop that podium. But these two guys really put on a great show. And we are waiting for our final 2 to come up on stage here. Nicely done.
Yes, the final 2 with the 2024 STIHL Timbersports British Rookie Championship on the line.
So Rowan Luxton still holding down the top spot in the overall standing. So right now it's up to Jack Morris or
Okay,
Zach Powell
gentlemen.
to take it. Maybe they can do it, maybe they can't.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Watch the pace for these two guys here as they get hitting hard, not even bothering to stand up straight and go for those high swinging hits, getting into it quickly. Very fast hits for Jack Morris and Zach Powell. They are on pace with each other. Oh! Zach Morris over to the other side very quickly here. He was over there in nearly 15 seconds. Jack Powell stepped down, but he is back on it and working hard on side number 2. Jack Morris looking good as he is very close to getting through it, and he's done it in 26.94. What an unbelievable time for Jack Morris. Zach Powell still working on his side too, but it should be a good time for him as well as he's almost there, and he's through to 38.26. Holy smokes, folks. Jack Morris, top spot there in the underhand chop. Zach Powell, position number 3 in underhand. That is madness. Uh-oh. We have an investigation here. Hopefully nothing untoward for Zach Powell.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, that's a good sign, a breath of relief for Zach Powell as he and Jack Morris can exit stage right as we take a look at the highlights here. Both of them, the pace at which they hit, it's just madness. And that keeps it exciting as well for us in the audience, you know, the quick drivers, the fast movement on the block, moving around to the other side in around 15 seconds. That's just crazy fast. And then on the second side, keeping that pace going. A beautiful drop right there. Fantastic run from Jack Morris.
I'm almost lost for words, Troy, with the performances that Jack Morris has been putting in this afternoon, particularly in that underhand chop. It was absolutely rapid.
Yeah, I mean, it just really doesn't get much better than that. And these guys have done a great job on stage today. So we'll take a look at the underhand chop rankings and then the overall, and then we'll take you up onto the stage for our awards ceremony. So underhand, yeah, clearly Jack Morris wins that one. 26.67 is his time. 11 points go to him. Then we have Rowan Luxton with a 34.81, Zach Powell with a 38.05, Joe Grice with a 39.87, and Luke Bray, top 5 with a 41.57. Let's take a look how this changes in the overall standings. If I could have the overall standings here again. All right, so we don't have those for a graphic, and here we go, final results, so here we go. So Jack Morris does it again. He maintains his status as the British rookie champion. Zach Powell slips into second place. Rowan Luxton, great job by him today. He performed all day long, consistently and strong. Will take third place on that podium. Joe Kreis and Luke Bray round out the top 5 there. And I will send it over to Alex briefly on the main stage there as our crew is getting things ready up there for the awards ceremony and the introduction of our champions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Troy. Confirmation on screens of Jack's victory again as our British rookie champion for 2024. Insane achievements from Jack. We're going to bring all our athletes out very, very shortly now in the following order, just as we prepare the stage, and the medals will be presented today by Simon Hewitt, the head of marketing at STIHL GB. Thank you, Simon. Okay, let's now bring our athletes out, congratulate them here today for some supreme efforts. In the following order, Dominic Bell, Theo Richmond, Leon Pesh, Max Wright, Memphis Clements, Jake Bufton, Luke Bray, and Joe Grice. All right, now it's time for our podium finishes. Huge round of applause. In third place today, 33 points goes to Rowan Luxton. Congratulations, Rowan. Our runner-up in the British Rookie Championships of 2024 with 35 points, Zach Powell. Congratulations, Zach. And once again, delivering the goods when it matters, Jack the Hammer Morris. Our champion, our British Rookie Champion of 2024. Jack Morris. Congratulations again to our 3 podium finishers. 3rd place, Rowan Luxton. 2nd place, Zach Powell. And our champ, Jack Morris. And this is where the bubbly troubly starts. Oh, hey! All right, the favourite part of my day is where I get to speak to a champion who's covered in champagne. Listen, Jack, I'm not sure things could get any better for you right now. You're absolutely on fire. How do you feel like the event went for you today? Just everything seemed to fall into place.
Yeah, I knew that I just had to get points on the stock saw, and then it'd be all right after that. Calm my nerves a little bit and chop pretty well after that, I think.
Serious question for you now. Are you going to let someone else have a go at winning?
Yeah, definitely next year.
So you're going to make the step up to the pros. I mean, looking at some of the records you hold all our rookie records, and even those times in your PBs, they're well worthy of winning our pro events. And you're going to go. You've got to go into that with confidence.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's the next step. So excited for the next challenge, really.
I know you're all about practice, 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 and training all the time. You've got a good team alongside you and behind you. Any thoughts, any wishes to those people that have backed you all the way?
Yeah, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that's helped me this year, especially Glenn, George, Zach, Bob, and all the trainers. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. What's the plan for the rest of the year now, apart from having a shower after the champagne?
I'll enjoy this moment and then review it and then go again.
Listen, we wish you all the very best. Absolute superstar. Big things to come for you. Once again, our champion of 2024, British Rookie Champion, Jack Morris. Okay, that culminates things here in Malvern, Worcestershire, our British Championship weekend. We've had a great time. Troy, thanks for joining us. We hope you have too.
Thanks very much, Alex. Hey, it has been fantastic to watch these rookies progress and become better and better and better. And as we know, Jack's going to be moving on to the pro level next season for sure, because there's nothing more he can really do here except continue winning. It's madness. But big congratulations to Jack Morris, Zach Powell, and Rowan Luxton, our 3 podium finishers here today at the British Rookie Championship 2024. That's it for us here today. We hope you guys enjoyed it. The sun stayed out for us here. It's been beautiful weather. It's been a beautiful weekend. Take care. That's Timber Sports for this weekend. Until next time, ciao, everyone.